Hello, sixth graders. So the past few days, we have been talking about how to find the areas of parallelograms and the areas of triangles. And today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be talking about how we can now use those areas to find the area of a bigger shape that we don't know how to find the area of. So let's really quick review. The area of a parallelogram is what? How do you find the area of a parallelogram? It is just the base times the height. Now, the area of a triangle equals the base times the height. But then what do you have to do with the base and the height to find the area of a triangle? You have to divide by 2. So keep in mind those two formulas. We're going to use those two formulas now to find the area of a bigger quadrilateral that we don't know the formula for. So let's look at this problem. It says, the pasture is in the shape of a trapezoid. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral, meaning it has 4 sides that has only one pair of opposite sides parallel. They want to know what the area of the pasture is. So this is our pasture right here. Okay, we don't know how to find the area of a trapezoid, but what we can do, it says to decompose the trapezoid. Basically what that means is to break down the trapezoid. So we're going to decompose the trapezoid into a rectangle and 2 triangles. So if you look over here, our trapezoid is 1 triangle, another triangle, and then a rectangle here. And we know how to find the area of all 3 of those things. Okay, so this length, the base of this triangle is 4. And the length of this rectangle is 10. So this whole entire length is 14. But it says this whole thing is 18. So what is going to be this missing dimension on the base of that triangle? Well, that will also be 4 because 18 minus 14 is 4. So that is 4 yards, the bottom of that triangle. And now we want to know what the bottom of the rectangle is. Well, if it's 10 up here, then it's 10 below. So that is 10 yards. And that makes sense because 4 plus 10 plus 4 gives you a total length of 18, which is right there. So now we need to find the area of all 3 of those things. So let's start first with this triangle. Okay, now this triangle has a base of 4, a height. What is the height of that triangle? The height is 12, and then we're going to divide by 2. So 4 times 12 is 48. 48 divided by 2 is 24. So the area of this triangle right here that we just found, okay, that area is 24 yards squared. Now, if you look at this triangle over here, it has the same base and the same height. So that triangle is also 24 yards squared of the area. And now we just need to find the area of this rectangle right here. Which remember, area of rectangles is length times width. So it would be 12 times 10, which would be 120. And remember, it's yards squared. So we find the individual areas, and then we have to add them together. So we have 24 plus 24, which is 48. 48 plus 120 over here, which would be 168 yards squared for the total area of our pasture. So that's really all we do. We just have to break up the shape into shapes that we can find the area of. So let's look at a few more examples. So this next problem here, okay, it's a shape that we don't know how to find the area of, but what we can do is we can break it into 4 separate triangles. Okay? So let's focus on this triangle first. Let's focus on, this triangle first right here. Okay? We know that the base of this triangle is 8 feet. Okay? And the height of this triangle is the same height as this, so it would be 6 feet. All right? Now, this text box is supposed to be over there, so you can move that over there so it's there. Because we know this is 6, and then the base of this triangle is 9. Okay, so we just want to find the base and the height of each triangle. This is 8, this height. And then if this is 6 over here, then that means that over here is also 6. Okay, so now we have the base and the height of every single triangle, so we can find the area of all of them. Okay, so this first one right here, we have the base is 8 times 6 is the height, and then divide by 2. So the area of this triangle is 48 divided by 2, which is 24 feet squared. So that's the area of that triangle. Now this triangle has the exact same dimensions, so it would also be 24 feet squared. Okay, now this one over here, these two triangles also have the same. Okay, so we can do the base of 9, times 6, and then divide by 2. So 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, and then we have to divide by 2. So 54 divided by 2, you get 27 feet squared. And now again, this triangle over here has the same dimensions, so this would also be 27 feet squared. Okay, so now what we have to do is add up all of those dimensions to find the total area of this shape. So it would be 27 plus 27 plus 24 plus 24. It would be 102 feet squared. Okay, now you might have noticed something, okay, in that we didn't necessarily have to break it up into 4 triangles. You can, if you can see it, you can break it up into only 2 triangles. And this whole entire thing would be a base, and the height would be 8. And the base of this, 6 plus 6, it would be 12. So you would have a triangle that would have a base of 12 and a height of 8. And then you have to divide it by 2. And over here, you would have a triangle with a base of 12 and a height of 9. And then you divide by 2. And if you did that, you would get the exact same area as we got over here, which is 102 feet squared. All right, so you can break up the shape into anything you want as long as you can still find the area of it. So now let's look at this one underneath. It's a trapezoid. We don't know how to find the area of a trapezoid, but you can see here, they broke it into one triangle over here and one triangle over here, and then a rectangle in the middle. Okay, so we have the triangle with a base of 4 and a height of 7. Okay, so that is 4 times 7, and then divide by 2 for the area of that. Okay, so 4 times 7 is 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14 feet squared for the area of that triangle. Now, the area of this rectangle is not 14 on the base, because 14 is this whole entire thing. It is just 12, so it's 12 times 7. So 12 times 7 is 84 feet squared. Lastly, this triangle. Well, if this was 7 over here, then this has to be 7 over here. But now we need to figure out what that base is. So let's look back at this trapezoid. Okay, so this dimension is 12 right here. this whole entire thing is 14. So what would be the remaining section? If 12 goes up to here and the rest needs to be added to get to 14, what would that be? The base would be 2 feet, because 14 minus 12 is 2. So now to find the area of this triangle, 7 times 2 is 14, but then you have to divide by 2. So 14 divided by 2, we would get 7 feet squared. So now we have all of our separate areas, and what we need to do is multiply them. So we do 14 plus the area, that's 84, plus the area, that's 7. And we would get 105 feet squared. So what you guys are going to do now independently, okay, you are going to complete these 3 problems. What I would suggest, okay, because this is virtual and it's a little bit harder because I like to have my students use pencil and paper, I would draw the shapes out on a scrap piece of paper. That way, when you're in your scrap piece of paper, you can break it up on your scrap piece of paper any way you'd like to and write down the specific areas of everything so you can keep everything in track. All right, that's what I would suggest, to break it up and do it on a scrap piece of paper. And make sure when you write your total area, do not forget your units and that they are squared. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.